So ladies and gentlemen, have you ever played any fantasy sports games? It's really amazing that we can put together a virtual team of real sports team players for online prediction and earn fantasy points. So coming up next, we are very delighted to have Mr. Xander Wang, co-founder TopGoal. Mr. Patrice Evra, retired athlete and football commentator. Mr. Max Rabinovitch, Chief Strategy Officer, Chiliz and Socios.com. Mr. Wang T, Deputy Head of Binance, Fan Token Binance. They're going to share with us on the topic of Power Up, the future of sports entertainment, the convergence of sports, gaming, and Web3 technology. Now, without further ado, I'll pass the floor to Xander. Over to you now, Xander.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Xander, the co-founder of TopGoal, and I'm really more than happy today to have the speech at the Cyberpod here. And it's my honor to have Patrice, Evra, and Max and Wang here today, and I think they are dialing here. So, hi.
Yes.
Yeah, really nice to see you again. So, would you mind to introduce you and your brand to the audience, to everyone today? So, can we have Max first?
Yeah, sure. I hope everyone can hear and see me okay. Thanks for inviting me, Xander. My name is Max Rabinovitch. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer for Chiliz and our B2C product, Socios.com. I've been with the firm since its inception, and as a company, we focus on the Chiliz side, building fintech and blockchain technology infrastructure, focused on the sports and entertainment world. And with Socios.com, we provide an international fan engagement platform where we work with over 120 of the world's biggest sports IPs, leagues, and teams together to create scalable tokenized membership experiences for both local and international fans.
Thanks, Max. And we have Wang, the deputy head of the fan token of Binance. Please, thank you.
Thank you, Xander. Hi, everyone. This is Wang. I'm not sure whether you can hear me very clearly here. Sorry for not being able to go on site, but it's a pleasure, Xander, to invite us to be on site to talk about the Web2 and the Web3 integration in the industry. So this is Wang from Binance Fan Token team. We created a fan token project at the mid of 2021. It has already been 1.5 years since the starting of this project. And we aim to provide, similar to Socios, our brothers in the industries, we want to provide the utilities for the traditional sports fans to enter into the Web3, to experience the new types of life and experiences that they can enjoy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And last, Patrice Evra, I'm really happy to talk to you again. And first, I want to congratulations to your newborn baby girl. So you are really famous as a football legend, so I don't need to introduce you about that. So would you mind maybe introduce how is your life and brand your work in Copenhagen? Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm just become a new dad. My baby girl, she's only 10 years, so I'm not sleeping a lot, but it's worth it. We feel blessed and grateful. And yes, everyone knows as a former Man United captain and French national team at Juventus. But now I'm become an entrepreneur. I'm also an activist of ending the violence against children. I'm a shareholder of a football club, Estrella Amadora, playing in the first division in Portugal. And I just write also my book 3 years ago. So I'm doing a lot of different things. I know they introduced me as a commentator, but no, I'm not a commentator. I'm doing more than that.
Okay, thank you, Patrice. And today we will gonna be talking about Web3 football games. And before we have our discussion, I would like to have a few slides introducing some ideas of mine. And it contains why people need football game and how the football game has evolved over the years, and also the next generation of football game, in my view. So, okay, let's start. There is a slides here, I think. Yes. Okay. So everybody knows that football is the most popular game in the world. They have billions of fans, millions of registered players. But actually, a lot of the fans are not really happy about some result. The reason is really simple, is because there is only one champion for each title. And if you are a football fan, you may recognize some of the photographs when your team lost in the final, or eliminated from the Championship League, or got relegated, or even knocked out from the World Cup. A lot of people will feel lost. But there is no rematch in the game, in the reality, right? But still, some fans want to do something, so they go for games. There's a reason, one of the basic logic why people play in games, right? And there are 3 of the really famous football games in the world over the 2 decades, 3 decades. The first one starts from the single and multiplayer game. Everybody knows that, FIFA. And then there is also another one called PES. They call it eFootball for now, Pro Revolution Soccer, developed by Konami. And it's the matter of real-time competition. And it's a measure of whether you have the right instinct, reactions from the controller or the keyboard. And also there are other games called management game. And we have FIFA Career Mode, and we have PES Manager Mode, and also the really famous one, Football Manager. So all these games were released from back to 1994 to 1999. So actually it's a very long time ago. And after a while, when online game became available, FIFA and PES, they have their online version of their games. They call it Ultimate Team and also the Dream Team. And this one allows people to compete from other guy from the other side of the world, real time. And people changed the term from the competition to esports. And those games were released from 2009 to 2022. And now you may wonder if there is a game, online game, focusing on management. Actually, there is a game called FM Online, which has been released 2016. But comparing with FIFA and PES, it's not really successful. So there are a few reasons behind that. In my view, the game is kind of old school, and there has been a lot of really difficult problems that they cannot solve. I can list some of the problems here. There are 3 dilemmas. 1, uniqueness. So put it very simple, how many Kylian Mbappes are there in the world? Only 1. So how many Mbappes in the game? No one knows. Maybe 100,000 of them. So it's the end game. Second, assets transaction. In real life, you can buy a player and sell them. You can buy a club and sell them. But in the game, you cannot, because you put your cash into the game and transform into a currency, and there is no official way out, right? Third one, authentication. If you are a manager, you want to check the data, the record, the player info, but it's a centralized game. It's really hard to do that. You cannot check the record for anyone else. So these 3 problems became the very important thing, affect the success of the manager game. But the Web3 technology came over the years, and we found that those can be solved perfectly, implying the Web3 technology. So today, I want to introduce one idea about creating a virtual football world and at a 12 times speed. Because I would like the football fans can experience a faster life than the real one, because you have to wait years for a championship in the real life. And sometimes you wait years, decades, there is no champion. But in the virtual world, we can make the time passes fast, which means 1 month is 1 year, 4 months is 4 years. You have to wait 4 months until a virtual World Cup champion was born. And we want to call it Project Football Craft. There is a trailer about the concept of that. 1 second, 1 minute.
Ready to win in 120 days? Let's play. Don't delay. World's buzzing with soccer talents from every place. Hire the best scouts, sending them to wherever you want. Trust your intuition. Find your future world stars. Build up your team. 90 days countdown. Training hard and training smart. Trying out and keep practicing the best tactics for your squad. Pacing up the team. Better shooting skills for your scorer. 60 days countdown. Now they are qualified championship candidates. Keep an eye on the transfer market, finalizing the deal. No more weakness. You will master a game club now. Walking through the sweat, tears, and pain. We have all ready for the glory, spears to the throne. Football craft. The virtual soccer world for everyone.
This is the concept of the game, and this is what you can actually do in the game. The first one, you can create your own unique avatar. It is not a really difficult thing. Second, you can lead your team from the bottom of the pyramid all the way to the top. You can promotion for running for a league title. And you can speak some money, like 100 Hong Kong dollars, and become the champion of Nepal. So why Nepal? Because you have to spend more money if you have to be the champion of Hong Kong. And you can have scouts find some talents in your neighborhood and sold him for like maybe 10K. And also, if you are a very successful manager of the club, you can run for the national team. And also, there is only one national team coach for each country. And also, if you are okay with one club, you want to have a new journey, you can sell your club. And if you're a champion club, there will be worth a lot of money on that. So everything, transaction, verification, and uniqueness can be inferred from the game. And there is no such a game in the world for now. And there are some user interface to help you understand what will look like. You can see the sun goes up and down, and your team is becoming stronger. And as a manager, the time passes fast because it's 12 times speed. And the locker room. And as a manager, you have to make decisions. One is a lot of different kind of things. I don't have time to explain it in details, but a lot of decisions. And also, you have your scout team. You have to dispatch your scouts into the different corners of the world, and you will have a lot of resumes of the players. You can keep some of them and say goodbye to the others. And also, when you have some kids, you put them in your youth academy, and you hire some experienced coaches, and they can become a really successful player, powerful player. And if you want to buy a player or sell your player, you can go to the transfer market. It's all the things runs just like the real world do. And the match will be in 3D, and it's auto match, and you have a few chances to make some changes, giving some commands in the game, like 3 times in a match. So at most, you can score 3 goals by yourself, and the rest of the game is automatic, so it's still a manager one. We can see briefly how the game is played. So the game begins, and this auto game. The winner has the chance. The midfielder cut the ball past the defender. There is a lot of decisions for the virtual players in the game. So somehow like our previous football manager game. This auto sees the weakness to the far point and a header. This is the auto game. We also have some moments that you can make change. So James pass ball to One pass ball to Max. Max going back to Julian. Julian sees Max and going back to him. Max find a weakness in the middle. And the draw, there is Alex in the middle of the goalkeeper didn't have the chance to react. So making right decisions can make your score easier. And another one. I'm not sure whether it's Max again. Cutting back directly, not stopping the ball. The last one. There's spaces. Crossing in the middle. Got cleared. And a long shot. So it looks a little bit supernatural, but it's okay in the virtual football world, right? the mid defender didn't hit the ball, and he scored with his foot. Okay, that's basically how the game is played. So we can see now it's a manager game, and this has some elements of the esports because you can actually do something in the game. So I hope this kind of project will be very competitive in the future, like football world. And for now, today we are announcing our partnership with a lot of friends. The first one is Chiliz, because Chiliz is one of the most influential Web3 companies in the world, and it has really good partnership with hundreds of different football clubs, even not football clubs, even different, sports entertainment. And Chiliz will be a really important channel and platform for our cooperation. There will be more and more football fans joining in the game. And also the Binance we have been friends for a long time, so we will continue our win-win relationship. And also the Cyberpod, we chose Hong Kong to be our base. So as a home, we transfer some of the guys here, and we want to develop the game here in Hong Kong and making the football fans all over the world will play it. And at last, there are some personal discretions because, some really powerful player was hit by injury, and they were really close to champion or just attending the World Cup. And some, like Ericsson, he almost died in the heart attack in the Euro Cup. So some of the games will have the function that if a player got injured, you can spend some diamonds and make it recover instantly. But I don't like the setting, so there is no severe injuries in the virtual football world. I don't like it, no one like it. And the second one, we will have our female football players competing together with the male ones. So we don't have to hold a FIFA World Cup or something like a Women's World Cup, because actually in the virtual world, everyone can compete in the same field. And these are some of my ideas about how to build a Web3-driven virtual football world. And let's begin of some discussion or panels. So I think I will sit down here. I think it's okay to close this slides. Thank you. Well, it's the first time for me to stand alone on stage. And yeah, I have some personal questions for Patrice. So I want to know, maybe like you are a football legend and you are a retired legend. So if there is a virtual life and you could go back to 17 years old and play professional football again, what position will you prefer? And what kind of, style of play you will be?
So this is a good question.
Yeah.
I think I will prefer the position where I start, because I start as a striker. Then after I play as a winger, then I end up as a left back. I will definitely play forward. I think you have more fun, and my style of play will be the same, because that's what I didn't lose. Even become a defender, left back. I was really an attacking player, and that was my philosophy. Sometimes Sir Alex Ferguson was saying, "Patrice, you need to defend," and I was like, "Boss, the best way to defend is to attack." So my style of play will be the same, but my position definitely will stay up of the pitch.
Yes, that's really interesting. I still remember you scored in the Championship League final with a long shot with a right foot in Manchester United. It's really remarkable. And another question for Max is also personal. So you have been working in Chiliz for 5 years and has been cooperating with a lot of football clubs. So I assume you know more than how to run a club, maybe than the other football fans. So my question is, if you can become a manager of a real football team, what is your style? Are you going to be very aggressive financially or conservative?
It's a good question. I can't speak at all to obviously the on play, on the pitch management, because I don't want to make the same mistake. a lot of fans do that, think that just because they spend a lot of time around the sport, they know how to manage the club perfectly. But I think definitely, at least from the business side, from what I've learned, I manage it extremely aggressively. I think the only way to incite change in your club as an organization and get it to evolve is to really push for it. It's an industry where you're constantly swimming upstream from tradition and the status quo in many ways, and the only way to fix that is to be experimental and bold and push.
Yes. Thank you. I know in reality, maybe running a club is really, really difficult. I have a friend who is running a Premier League club in England called Wolves, and he says after he runs a real club, he never plays games because playing game is not fun, but running a real club is really, really funny, but really difficult, I know. And another question for Wayne. So you are an expert in Web3, and you are kind of a witness of how the TopGoal was coming from the over 18 months, from our first NFT collections and then to our GameFi project Top Manager. And I'm wondering if have you observed any changes for the demands of the football fans over the 2 years? Has there any changes?
Yeah, I would say I have already witnessed like a growing demand in the industries, especially it needs a long, quite a long time, for the traditional Web2 world, I would say the traditional sports fans to accept new things in the Web3 world. So when we're talking to them about fan tokens, NFTs, TopGoal games, sometimes it will be hard for them to understand blockchain, NFTs, because this is relatively fresh terms to them. However, I think TopGoal, you have made a very good examples in the world because game itself is very easy to understand, right? So a lot of the young generations, they know how to play games. They know eFootball, they know FIFA. Then they are more intent to accept, the gaming that is using the blockchain technology, using the NFTs. So, I think we have already started our partnerships for more than half a year. And we have also with, our fan tokens is also integrated into the TopGoal system as well. We witnessed like two trains. One train is, for our existing fan token holders, some of them have already transferred part of their fan tokens into your game and they start to play around the games and they like it. The overall feedback is good. And another side is because we're also a partner with Lazio, Porto, Santos, these traditional football clubs. Unfortunately, Patrick, we also want to have Manchester United there, but they're too big. But yeah, so we started with Lazio, Porto, Santos. The fans, they are also gradually, we see them gradually getting enjoyed with these games. But I think it would take a little more time. But overall speaking, I'm positive about it.
Oh, thank you, Wayne. And my next question is for Patrice. So why is sports, especially like football, considered as one of the key tracks for Web3 to break the circle? So what unique advantages does football have?
Patrice, you're muted. You're on mute still, though. There we go.
Sorry, it's fine now.
It's okay.
No, but I think Web3 is reshaping the sport industry by introducing new avenue for revenue and engagement. And think about it. As a player, I can now meet my own NFTs, capturing iconic moments from my career and share them directly with fans. Club can tokenize assets from tickets to merchandise, offering fans a new way to engage and invest. I have recently become, like I said before, a shareholder in Estrela Amadora, Portuguese first division club, and they are also owned by MYFC, who are using Web3 technology to change the way the club are run, giving fans more opportunity, giving fans more opportunity to make key decisions in how their favorite team are run. It's really an exciting time. I think this will change the game. And I remember when I heard about those new ideas 2 years ago, I couldn't believe it because now the fan, they want to be involved. The fan would like to pick which player they want to buy. They would like to pick which manager they want. I think this is the future, the present and the future, and this is an amazing idea because the fan, they're paying expensive tickets, and they deserve more than that. They should be like involved more in the club. I feel like now they just come and support, but no, they can do more than that. Fans are important. I always say without the fan, as an athlete, we will be nobody, because if they didn't support us, I wouldn't be like that Patrice Evra. Yes, I will have the talent, but I won't be recognized all around the world. So I think that the fan, are not sleeping when we lose. The fans are crying when we lose. They're happy when we win, and we should give them more. So that's why for me, the Web3 is just amazing.
Oh, thank you, Patrice. So actually, there are a lot of fans who have been experienced the Web3 elements of other currencies or tokens or the functions, but still there are millions of them hasn't had the chance. So that's our mission in the coming years, to make more and more, maybe almost every of the football fans in the world will have this kind of experience. And then because our time is limited, so there was a quick question for Max. So as a leader in the Web3 sports, what advantages and functionalities does Chiliz Infras offer to developers or brands?
No, it's a good question. I'll be quick. I think ironically, when we're talking about Chiliz as a tech provider, our biggest differentiators aren't the technology. Realistically, in blockchain, especially in the EVM compatible kind of vertical of blockchain, it's all very similar. Chains operate in very similar ways. So the thing that makes us stand out is for the past 5 years, we've been building business infrastructure that matters. It matters to the brands and fans and teams. We have 125 plus IP roster that we work with, where in many cases to brands like Juventus and Barcelona, et cetera, we've become the stewards of their IP and their organizations into Web3 and guiding them into a fan-friendly way to explore this new world. And then on top of that, by virtue of all the casual fans we've been able to onboard with Socios, we have arguably the largest built-in sports fan base in Web3 in the world that we can plug in to not just ourselves, but obviously, football craft, other projects as well. That's been the central ethos for us in Socios and Chiliz, is to eventually turn, the account wallets and Socios into Web3 wallets that they don't just connect to one thing, they connect to whatever makes sense. If Wayne or Patrice or you, Xander, make up, a new game, a new platform, a new engagement venue, as long as I have a fan token or I have a Socios wallet or I use the Chiliz chain, I don't need to get anything new. I already have all the legwork done. I can just plug into that. And I think that's what sets us apart, really.
Oh, thank you. Because there are so many potential players and users in the world, and people are waiting for the next, the application, which is really interesting to attract them, to convert them from the top Web2 world to the Web3. And thank you, Max. And finally, and I think maybe it's kind of a short discussion because the time is limited. So I would like each of you maybe have the finishing line for the audience and our fans. Could you please start with Patrice? What do you want to say to the fans? Maybe there is some lags, so maybe Wayne, could you?
Yeah. Yeah, I can start first. Yeah. Web3 is a brand new stuff. It reminds me of the beginning. Again, reminds me of all the new things that starts decades ago, the blockchain, all those kind of things. And we have the pioneers here, like Chiliz. They have, just like what Max mentioned, building up the business infrastructure. And we have, Binance. We are kind of like, a platform where it's providing the tradings. We have the utility providers like in TopGoal, like you guys. And we have the, the big influencers like Captain Patrick Evra to help us build this entire ecosystem together. It will still take time, but I'm very positive about it. So for this new world to come, for all the audience to come in, I think we need everybody to stay tuned. And I think we also need people in the industry like us, like Chiliz, like TopGoal, like our players, like Captain Evra, that we all need to contribute our own sources together. But I'm very confident that we will have it in the future. So okay, that's my ending word.
Thank you, Wang. You're a nice person that I have never met you in person. I promise I will meet you in Singapore this year later. Yeah. And also for Max, could you please?
Sure, of course. I think at the end of the day, fans need more fun things to do and more things of consequence to do. I think specifically in Web3, we're not there yet. As much as I love Socios, and people may love TopGoal, right? That's one platform and one game. So I'm excited here to support Football Craft as well, because that's just a first really big step in more cool stuff to do, right? At the end of the day, sports fandom is about fun as well as loyalty, as well as support and identity. And the only way you have that is with more tools, with more outlets for people to show that and to experience that personally and actively. So I'm happy that we're now in a place to be supporting a new global venture like Football Craft as well.
Thank you so much, Max. So finally, Patrice, what would you like to say to the fans?
No, but I think, is to prioritize the fan. Web3 is like a new playing field for the sport industry. It's interactive, decentralized, and offer a level of engagement we've never seen before. For fans, it's not just about watching the game anymore. It's about being part of it, and that's the big difference. And they can own unique moments from matches, interact directly with players, and even influence the club decision in some case. Football being the global sport, that is a massive fan base, and we all know that football without the fan will be nothing. And when you introduce something as dynamic as the Web3 to football, it's bound to drive adoption. Fans are passionate and they want to be closer to the game, the player and the club they love. And, Web3 can offer that bridge. I'm really confident with that and positive.
Okay, thank you, Patrice. So we are a little bit over time, so I would like to thank you for today. And thank you, Wang, Max, and Patrice. I hope I have the chance to talk to you soon later. Thank you.
Thank you, Xander and panelists. And
Thank you.
Xander, please remain on stage. Gentlemen, shall we take a photo together? So Patrice, Max, and Wang will join us at the back on the screen with Xander to take a photo together. Fantastic. Just keep a big smile on your face and look at the front. That will be fine. All right. And Xander, please look towards the center, to our front at our official photographer. 1, 2, 3, and big smile on your face. Big round of applause for our speakers here. Thank you for shedding some light on the future of sports entertainment. It's fantastic to have you guys here at Delft. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. See you guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So this is the end of Cyber Arena's forum session for today. And we would like to thank all of you for your great participation. Last but not least, we would like to take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors, including Context, Acer, Dr. Kong, Yao Esports, and Meta, as well as all our partners supporting institutes and organizations for your great support towards Delft this year. Once again, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you all next year. Thank you.